What's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Ready to Love. This is the reunion part 2, season 5. Thank you, Lord, that we are finally here. Even though I do know a new season comes on next week, y'all don't remind me. Let's just not even talk about it. I'm gonna just try to get through today as best I can. How about that? Am I gonna be reviewing it? Probably. Am I gonna be happy about it? I don't know. That just remains to be seen. So we pick up where we left off with Camille denying saying that she would F everybody up, even though we did see it on the recording, we saw it on the playback. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about Camille, because this is the thing. If it was the goal for her and Zadia to get under everybody's skin, they have accomplished that. There is not a woman on that stage that is not bothered by the two of them. I'm almost certain they was cutting up even more so behind the scenes. But they're not gonna cop to it. They're not gonna cop to it. They don't care. Even Naeem was getting in on a little bit of the digs, and it's just not even worth talking about. They do have their connections, despite what I might think about them. And the goal of the show is for people to find connections, and so that has happened. We've been saying that the show don't bring forth real connections, and so there's a connection. I do believe it's a real one. I don't know if it's a functional one, but it is a real one. But I don't want to waste too much time talking about them. The hosts try to bring them together on some, let's just agree to disagree. It may not happen. I agree that I want, as another black woman, I definitely want us to get along. But I also know that everybody is not going to be my friend, but we don't have to be nasty with one another. And that is the main goal. And that is something that Zadia and Camille could learn. But, just not today, I guess. Maybe not ever. But yeah, that's it with them. Let's move on with Walter. So Walter is on the stage, and we play back his scenes, and then we talk about what happened with him and Sabrina. Walter was surprised that Sabrina did not choose him. Pause real quick. I need to explain what's going on in the background. You guys know that you should know. If you don't know, I'm about to tell you that I'm currently on a mission. I'm on a deployment, and so it's very hard for me to find spaces where I can record by myself quietly. Usually I have to be outside or like locked in a bathroom somewhere. I don't get a lot of private time. So the background sometimes is given very much ghetto. It might be a lot going on. It might be some dogs barking. I know y'all just heard some dogs. That's because I'm outside. I'm on location. I'm doing the best I can. All right. So anyway, back to the review. Walter was blindsided by Sabrina not choosing him, and he feels like if they were friends, they could have left as friends by him hearing from Sabrina and hearing Sabrina say that she felt like things weren't right. And Sabrina tells him, how was I supposed to tell you that things weren't right when we weren't talking? I wasn't hearing from you, boo. We wasn't talking to each other. So how was I supposed to let you know? Walter disagrees with this. He still feels like Sabrina could have let him know. Sabrina says she don't think she was right for Walter. She felt like she was too old for Walter. Walter likes younger women. Now, this is something that's been bothering Sabrina. And y'all remember that I said, maybe like the episode before the last episode, that I felt like Sabrina was kind of losing her confidence in the competition, and I didn't want to see her do that. But it was something about her where she was feeling unsure of herself, and that might have been it, coupled with the fact that Walter wasn't really reaching out to her like that. Mumine makes it clear, and I like Mumine for this. Like, I like how she is, outside of the pool incident, once she's aware of where she stands with the person, she doesn't get like bratty about it outside of the pool incident. But the show is still going, y'all. I'm reviewing as I'm watching, so I guess it remains to be seen. But I just like the way she was just like, I knew that I was Walter's number 2, and his energy did shift when he was around you, Sabrina. So I knew that he definitely liked you a lot, despite the fact that Mumine was indeed younger. But Walter says that he never suggested that he didn't like her because she was older. The honest thing is, it's kind of one of those like bad timing type of things. Like, Walter still wants children, and so he dates younger women because there's a possibility that he will still be able to do that. My only thing though, y'all see, like right now somebody about to roll up on me. So what I'm saying, I can't get no private time. Hold on. Please hold just a moment. All right, I've returned. There's a dog barking in the background now. So my thing about Walter is, I understand what he's saying. I think Walter's 41, 42. I'm not really sure, but, and I get it. He can't birth the baby. So he got to get somebody to birth the baby, and he wants the situation to be right, but you got to act like you looking for somebody to really do that with. You can't just be not calling people, because Mean said you were doing it with her too, not reaching out. You really got to, how am I trying to put this? You gonna have to make something shake with somebody. I mean, I understand that your sperm, I understand the sperm still works, y'all, but we still talking birth defects. If you do the research, you still, that older sperm is not foolproof. Okay, I just want us to think about that, y'all. I'm serious now. I'm serious. But anyway, I get why he does what he does and moves the way he moves. I still don't believe him about this children thing, though. I just don't. He kind of puts me in the mind of Mike from season 1, and I don't know if y'all noticed, but OWN has put those episodes back on YouTube. But Mike in season 1 was all about having kids and really wanted a woman to birth his children. He really wanted twins. Now here we are, 3-4 years later, Mike is still just, trying to get real big in the acting game, and there's still no woman and no children either. So I don't know. I didn't believe him then, and I don't really believe Walter now. I'm sorry, y'all. That's just how I feel. Okay, Miss Courtney. I like Courtney. I want us to be friends. I think she would be really cool to hang out with. So they talk about her whole situation, and she's really good at, just explaining who she is and where she's at. And when they play back her scenes and talk about Cornelius and Walter, she basically says, like, listen, I liked Cornelius, but I respect what Cornelius wanted to do. It's just something that I did not want to do. There's all kind of relationships. There's people that wait. There's people that do it early. There's people that have open relationships. There's people who never want to get married. There's people who want kids. There's people who don't. You can do whatever you want to do, and I respect it. But I'm not that type of person. And when I say I'm not trying to wait, I mean, like, I'm not trying to wait 2 years. That's just not something that I can do. She also says that in the process, she did have some tears when she left, because it was a learning process for her. There was things that she was still learning about herself and growing within herself. And so that is where the tears came from. And I appreciated her segment, because I've been in that place several times, trying to figure out why I do certain things, why I move a certain way, accepting my ways, changing some of my ways. And Courtney's a chaser. She's a flirt. She's probably a little more aggressive than some women would be in the dating scene. But I do believe that there is a space for that. I know, like, more traditional women will say, no, you can't do that. It turns men off. Men don't like it, and they don't respect what chases them. I've heard that before, and I do believe generally that is true. But I do believe there is a space for women like Courtney as well. So I won't completely discredit her, but she could just pull it back a smidge, and I think she'll be okay. Y'all already know why I'm laughing. I really don't have time for y'all. Like, I already know that y'all done cut up. I can see y'all through my screen. I already know that y'all was cutting up. I just know it. So let's go ahead and talk about Corey. Corey tells us what his moment with after Mean was, when he shed some tears. He said that he was doing an interview, and in the interview they asked him, like, why do you do these things? Why do you behave in this manner? And he's just like, give me a minute. I really wish I could be on camera today. He need a minute, y'all. And he finally reveals that he's just one of those people. Like, he's just a lovable, loving guy, and he wants what his parents had. He wants a woman to look at him the way his mom looks at his father, and that's why he does all of these things. He just wanted to find that one. He just had the desire to find that one. That's why he came into this process, and he realized, like, why do I do these things? I know it's a lot. I know it seems like a lot, but I just want a woman to feel special. I just want to have that look. And I've had girls tell me it's too much, or you like me too much, or you're doing too much, or it's too much too soon. And he's misunderstood. And the host says, okay, you're misunderstood. Then they go to some of the ladies. Camille vouched for him early. As a matter of fact, she cut her former Brown Girl Squad member off and said, we're not going to discount his tears. And Mew Mean, she fell in line. I was like, Mew Mean, I don't like that. Did I say it right, y'all? I said I was going to say it right. Does it? Mew Mean, I don't like that. Now, you could clap back at Camille if you want to. You can say what you want to say. All right, she ain't your mama. But anyway, yeah, she stayed quiet when Camille told her to. Sabrina even vouched for him and said that Camille had vouched for him a lot about him being misunderstood. And she was just saying, I've talked to Corey. Sabrina's understanding voice. And he really is misunderstood. She gonna break it down to us. So everybody on the cast is just like, oh, okay, maybe we misjudged him, except for Courtney. Okay, and Mew Mean too, I think. But Courtney was just like, no, I don't really feel bad about how I handled it with Corey, because I did feel like it was game. It felt like game. Mew Mean said it felt like game for her too. She said she felt like everybody was getting that. And then when she asked him about the whole family thing, he kind of deflected and talked around it. And she doesn't really feel like she handled it wrong either. Now, Courtney, I like Courtney because I feel like she's good at kind of breaking down and explaining herself. But Courtney was just like, look, I mean, I get what he's saying, and I get that he likes to do those things, but you know, just sometimes you have to pull back on the way you're doing it, and you can't do it to everybody. And I think that is the point that Corey is missing, if he does indeed feel misunderstood. Two things that I think about it. First of all, let's just switch roles. If this was a woman and she was handling every man the same way, and I'm only talking about this, I'll just talk about myself. I won't even talk in third person. I've had moments where I meet somebody and they're really nice, and I just kind of take what they are telling me or what they're giving me at face value. I don't examine it extra. I don't try to look for anything extra. And next thing you know, I have you in this space that you may not need to be in. And then when you fall out of that space, I'm left deeply disappointed, because I've handled it. It's kind of like you put everybody on a pedestal. I've done that. I've done it a couple of times, and each time I'm very hurt by it. And it's something I've learned about myself and something that I'm trying to fix. So if I were doing that repeatedly, people would not, they might feel a little bad for me, but they would tell me, like, you can't do that. That's not a way to date. And people have told me that, men and women, and I appreciated the feedback. It was hard to hear, but I appreciate it. And I think that's the point that people are trying to get at with Corey. Like, we get that you want a woman to feel special, but it's a way to go about it. And you have to find that fine line between making a woman feel special, making a woman feel like you like her, and love bombing. Because love bombing is indeed a red flag, and we are told to run from it when we see it. And sometimes that's what it can feel like when people are talking marriage on the first date. So, not saying he did that, but you know, he was grand, okay? So there's that. Now, baby, the people was feeling sorry for Corey until Tessie got out on that stage. And so Tessie looked good. She knew it. Tessie got out there because she wanted her moment. That's all she was crying about backstage. She say her mama was in the hospital, and you know, I do feel deeply for her about that, but I think she just was waiting on her moment. So she got out there, and she was talking about her experience and how she felt like she was just kind of floating through the middle with the guys. You know, she wanted to be courted. She said that early. She wanted the chase. Her and Phil did have a connection, but it kind of just fizzled out with Phil. She felt like you got to let people show up as they are. And if Phil wanted to apply pressure, then he would have. And I kind of like her way of thinking about that. They then go to Corey and how she was a third party in that connection. She's asking Corey, was I or was I not a third party? Corey is talking around and going up, down, you know, tree in the root and rooting the hole in the ground. So finally, the host is just like, Corey, for real, was she a third party or not? Tessie is just like, let me know, Corey, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. So finally, Corey is just like, yes, he did like Tessie. He was feeling her. Even when some of the guys said she was a little difficult to talk to, he felt that way at first, but then once he got to talk to her and got to go on a date with her, it was like she blossomed and she opened up. And so that is something that he was trying to explain to the guys, and he really was feeling her. She was like, no, you were sending that family text message to me as well. I too was a third party. So he's kind of getting exposed after the crying session that he did earlier. And I have a feeling that it was filmed out of order, but they played that crying session first. To make it look like, okay, you said this, but now look at this. And he was like, I defended you with the guys. You know, I really did like you. I really thought you were dope. You were one of the dopest women there. Walter said, hold on just a minute. Now I'm gonna have to push the violence button. Okay? Because each time we had eliminations, you did not have to defend Tessie. A lot of us said that Tessie was one of the dopest women there. So Tessie, get up, y'all. She kind of walking around in her dress. I'm like, I'm gonna let you have it. It's a lot, but you know, she pretty. She just pretty to me. So I'm gonna let her have it. But sit down. So then, then after that, y'all, Walter says, yeah, like, I've been being quiet and I've been holding back, but I had to say something, because at no point in time were you really having to defend her like that, like how you trying to make it seem. And I'm just gonna have to speak on that because you lying. So anyway, we move on. We determine that Corey is not keeping it real. He done a lot of deflection on the stage and people are annoyed. And we move on to what Tessie is doing now, baby. It's no circling back with me. It's no chance for any of these men's here, which is fine. I don't think any of them can handle Tessie. Listen, Tessie is a challenge. I do believe she is. I believe she's a good challenge, though. I don't know if y'all watch my other review. I'm not gonna say what it is, because of course you ain't watched it. I ain't posted it yet, but once I post it, y'all will see what I'm talking about. So I got a friend of mine who always says that certain men are finessable. No matter how they try to seem like they a player, they ain't going for this, they ain't going for that. They can be finessed with the right care and concern. It's just certain things they've never received or never gave themselves a chance to receive. And once they get it, they really don't know how to act. And I ain't just talking about sex. I'm just talking about certain things, right? Tessie is one of those women who probably is a challenge up front. But once she gets what she needs from you, she is a woman who will do anything, however, whenever. She just seems like that type that's an initial, you got to chase her down, but once you get her, you be like the happiest man in the world. I really do believe that. It's something about her personality and the way she moves. I know girls like her. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I can see it. But anyway, you guys, that was Tessie, a segment that she been waiting on for so long. All right, so I just realized, old boy with the blonde hair and the girl in the turquoise dress, they shouldn't even have came to the reunion. Did they ever get a moment to talk, or what? Did I miss it? Somebody let me know. I didn't see them. I didn't even know who he was. I said, when's Cisco? Never mind. All right, so anyway, Naeem and Zadia do get their moment to talk about their connection and their relationship. And I was really glad that in their segment, the host addressed the whole situation with Dante. And Zadia did cop to it, okay? Now, she did say she was wrong. She should have never went back into that restaurant. She thought in her mind she had some more to say. Y'all know how we do. We think about it in the car and be like, no, I got some more to say. Then you pull out that phone and send that MMS message, that text message be real long, only for him to reply, okay, cool. Just me? Okay. But Zadia comes back into the restaurant. She says she knows that it was wrong for her to do what she did. It was wrong for her to put her hands on Dante. I was also very glad that the host held her to the comment that she made regarding I was just about to pick you. Because I wanted that to be addressed, because I wanted to see if Naeem was going to have a problem with it, and he didn't. I should have known. But she said that she was leaning into that space. She was leaning into that space, but once she saw how Dante was behaving, and also how she was behaving, because she was giving him the cold shoulder at the retreat, but I guess, she ain't gonna say nothing about that. Once she saw how Dante was moving with Aisha, she leaned out of that space, I guess, and she was more so drawn towards Naeem. She admitted, which I also appreciate, y'all. I know we don't like Zadia, but I appreciated some things that she said. She also said how she doesn't always make the best decisions in dating, which is why she's there. Sometimes she goes for the fun. And I sat there and I looked at my phone because I was watching it on my phone. And I will hard now argue with people that it is not women are not just focused on fun and dating a guy just because he's fun. But I'm finding more and more that there are a lot of women who do date that way, and don't realize that it's not the best decision long term. I guess I was thinking about, myself. I haven't dated strictly for fun in a very long time. So not to say I choose people purposely that are boring, but I do try to think about, like, what's gonna work best in the long run, I guess you could say. But Zadia admits that she hasn't always made the best decisions, and so with Naeem, he did seem to kind of be like a square or a rule follower in the process. But she's actually found out that behind that exterior, he is very fun, and that's good. That's good. So in her mind, she's made a safer choice, I guess you could say. Not to sound bad, but a safer and a right choice for her. Okay. She didn't choose Bilal, Dante. It reminded me of y'all remember a house party when the dad was like, "What's his name? Ball, Blue, Bilal. I'm so unfocused. All right. So yeah, I was glad she admitted she was wrong for putting her hands on Dante. Dante said he didn't even hear the whole part about I was gonna choose you. They have talked since then. She has had conversation with him. They have squashed it. Did y'all notice though that Dante, when asked about how he felt about Zadia's comment, I'm not saying, I do think he really, really likes Aisha, but he said up until that point, even he wasn't really sure going into the retreat. But it seems like the only reason that he stepped it up with Aisha is because Zadia was not going to choose him. And now that he has heard that she was thinking about choosing him, I don't know. I feel like if he would have heard that, like, before the hands putting on, would that have been a different conversation? Because I don't know. It's something about the way he answered that question, but it don't matter. Okay, because he with Aisha now, and let's just go on to them. Now, Camille, were you pressed? Or were you bothered? Or were you both? I'm not really sure, but all I know is she did not look at Aisha not one time the whole time her and Dante was talking. She was messing with her dress. It was giving rude. It was giving very much rude. If she was trying to look unbothered, it didn't work. Okay, you look very pressed, girl. Everybody in the camera went right in on her face every time she did it. And another thing, I forgot to mention this, but I was really upset that the host did not ask Zadia about that whole Aisha is stupid comment. Now, granted, she probably was upset, but why take it out on Aisha? That's what I wanted to know. But maybe because the tensions had been so high, the host just left it alone. But I really, really wanted that to be addressed because I couldn't understand why she needed to take it there. But she didn't, so there's that. We'll move on. But Aisha and Dante are talking about their relationship, how they got together, and how they made their connection, and booty rubs was involved. I said, I know that's right. I do love a glute massage. But they were happy that they were able to have their connection, although it was late in the game. One of the things that drew Dante to Aisha was the fact that she, was soft, and that she was able to communicate, and they didn't always talk about the process when they were on the phone. They talked about their lives. They dated like regular people. That's what regular people would do, not on a competition. They open up to one another. He just says that there's just so many things about her, and every now and then he get a rough New York side too, and he just appreciates her a lot. We know a lot of the reasons already that why Aisha was drawn to Dante. She said a lot of them. But she has said that they both have said that so far the relationship has had ups and downs, and I'm going to hope that that is just kind of related to being on a television show, because in all honesty, like, the first 2-3 months of your relationship, you don't want to be having problems. But I know they're on a show, and then I know there's children involved and all of that, so it might be attributed to that. But she said that when he shuts down, she gives him that space, and because she does, she thinks that he has realized that he can trust her. I do still see a connection. I really do hope that Dante is serious about Aisha, because she is serious about him. She admits that she wants marriage again, but in due time, because she wants it to make sense for both of them. The host, of course, asked where the relationship was going. Are there wedding bells? And I'm gonna tell you what, y'all men good at answering that question without directly answering that question. It was a whole bunch of, far in the distance, in the future. The sky is the limit. Anything is possible. But yes, if they reach that point, that is something that Dante would like to do. But I'm gonna tell you right now, don't take no 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, y'all is not young. Sorry, y'all are not that young, so it ain't gonna take forever. Okay, you like me or not? I was talking to somebody today, one of the people that I work with, and he said he told his woman, look, we either breaking up for the last time or we getting married. Now that's it. I don't have time for this. And they were 21 when he did it. So yeah, y'all, but that was pretty much the end of the show. Look, say what we will, this was a season that got on a lot of our nerves, including mine. But I cannot ignore the fact that there were connections made from this. Camille and Cornelius, Zadia and Naeem, Sydney and Phil, and Dante and Aisha. This is the most connections I think that we have had on one show. And I'm hopeful. I mean, I hope that it will continue and people will be serious about the process. It'll always be some entertainment in there, but I hope we do get at least 2 couples per season. That would be really great. But y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all for the next one. Oh, and I got a little surprise for y'all later. Y'all gonna like it. All right? Bye.